What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter, with your host, yours truly, Olin, aka MMAnomaly. And here to my right, we have the usual co-host. You see him, you know him, you love him, Jive Turkey Nano. What's up, brother? Oh man, welcome back, welcome back. It's been so lonely here without you. Let's go. Let's go. So obviously we are here to cover the recent episode, the episode that literally just wrapped up about 10-15 minutes ago of The Ultimate Fighter season 31. I mean, this was a fun episode. Not gonna lie. What were your thoughts on the episode overall? You're cutting in and out just a little bit. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Miss Mary said she can't hear Jive Turkey. Yeah, it sounds like your mic is coming in kind of choppy. Do you have the right mic set up? Double check those settings. While Nano is double checking those settings, I'm gonna dive right in here. This was a very, very fun episode of Tough. Honestly, we got to see a lot more of the coaches coaching, which is arguably the best part of The Ultimate Fighter, in my humble opinion. I think if we're not able to watch the coaches coach, it's not really telling us a whole lot about them as people that we don't already know. We already get to see them fight in the octagon. We already get to see them do their thing there. And I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to watch how they're able to influence these younger guys that are trying to make their way into the UFC, and how they're able to take somebody that already has a certain skill set and either further that skill set or implement upon or build upon a different skill set, or build a new skill set for that person. So in this episode, we actually saw Conor McGregor bring in another coach, which again, I thought was a very nice breath of fresh air. We saw him bring in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So we had MMA's bad boy bring in MMA's good boy, the NMF, the nicest mother effer. And yeah, basically, you know, we brought him in, and I don't know. I mean, I thought it was a nice little montage of them training together. It looked great. It felt good. And Conor McGregor even gave some really good advice. We're going to check in on Turkey here. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Oh, you're still coming in and out. Let me see. For sure. We are working with technical difficulties here with the Jive Turkey. And while he's fixing that again. So we had a very fun episode. We had Mr. Conor McGregor bringing in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And on the other side of things, again, I personally think that one of the best coaching staff we've seen in years on The Ultimate Fighter is on the opposing side with Michael Chandler. He has great striking coach, great wrestling coach, and just everybody's ability to basically step aside and put their ego away and make sure that their focus is on the fighters that are in here. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing to see. Not know how'd that reconnect go? I got nothing. I got zero. Close out of your internet browser and open it up again. So Nano is working very diligently to get back in here. And while that's happening, again, would love to know what everybody else thought of the episode in the chat. Thanks again, Miss Mary 616, for letting me know that you can't hear Nano at all. And I'll make sure he sees that compliment on the shirt. So there's something that I thought was really, really interesting in this episode. And I almost feel like I should wait for Nano to get back up in here before I, kind of divulge what it was. But man, you know what? Screw it. I'll go over it twice. Conor McGregor said a quote to his fighter. And then later, like maybe 30 minutes later in the episode, that fighter's opponent in the confessional, mind you, that fighter's opponent didn't hear this quote that Conor McGregor said. He basically said almost word for word that same quote into the camera. And that was just wildly ironic and in a weird way, like poetic and beautiful. Just, I loved seeing it personally. And yeah, again, I mean, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was brilliant. And I wouldn't have been mad if the fight had gone to a third round, but I also don't think it needed a third round. I definitely agree with everything Chandler said at the end. And this goes back to exactly what I said, I think, in episode 1 that we went over and had a recap show for. I just think that this is going to be a very one-sided season, and that's probably why we're not going to end up getting the fight either. I mean, that and the fact that Conor McGregor has not entered the USADA test pool. Would love to hear what you guys think of that. Because again, my personal thoughts, I think it's wild that the man hasn't entered the test pool. And what is he doing? I think everybody very, very soon is going to be over the song and dance. And let's see here. Let's see. Do we have a Nano back on the stream? I can actually hear you, which is a good start. We're halfway there. Let's go. Let's go. So I think maybe you have echo canceling on or something on your end. Maybe that one driver thing is messing up again. It's not coming in as crisp as it usually does, for sure. All right. In the meantime, Miss Mary says, people want to see him fight, but why would Conor want to fight Chandler? He's making money and has already made a name for himself. I completely agree. Like, there's really no incentive for Conor McGregor to want to fight Michael Chandler, especially knowing that Michael Chandler has a lot of options and a lot of paths to victory. That being said, I mean, why do you sign up for the Ultimate Fighter if you're not going to fight the guy? But it just seems like all signs are pointing to no. He's not going to fight him. He still hasn't entered the USADA test pool, which is obviously a really bad sign. And that for sure solidifies the fact that there's no chance that we will actually see that fight happen at all this year. So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. We all want to see that fight happen, but I think, was it Marvin Hagler that said it's hard to get up and train when you're waking up in silk robes, or it's hard to wake up and run the miles when you're waking up in silk robes. That's never been more true than it is for Conor McGregor these days, in my humble opinion. Nano, either way, even if you have echo canceling on, I'm just going to put mine on mute and let you talk. Give us your thoughts on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson being a part of the training here. And give us your thoughts on the first half of the episode. Completely agree. I definitely like that's the best and worst thing about the Ultimate Fighter for me, right? Is no matter what, there has to be a loser. And throughout this episode, they get you somewhat attached and rooting for both sides. Now, one thing that I want to point out, I'm not even sure if you noticed this or not, but it's something that really stood out to me. And I can't remember the exact order that Conor McGregor said it in, but maybe like 20 minutes into the episode, maybe even less, Conor McGregor is training. He's working with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and he pulls like 3 or 4 fighters aside, maybe more. And Jive Turkey is coming in with really, really low volume. Can I turn up your volume manually on my end? Let's see here. Oh, I have you turned all the way up on my end. Give me just a sec here. Filters. Okay, there's no filters on you on my end. That way it's just filters that you can set. I mean, as long as Logitech, the G Hub is turned on and you have it set on that warm and crispy or whatever filter, that should be fun. That should be good. I feel like it's sounding the same way it was whenever your drivers were blocking it that last time. Remember you had like drivers that weren't allowing it and you had to look something up? Whoops. And thank you, Miss Mary 616, for the save on the audio technical difficulties. My hero. So again, what I was saying here is there was a quote that Conor McGregor said, and he said it to like 3 or 4 of his fighters. And I thought it was a really, really nice quote. He basically said, like, as long as you fight with your heart and you fight with your soul and you fight with your brain, you're going to make a walk. You're going to make the walk for this company a great number of times. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was a really, really nice, heartfelt thing for Conor to say to these guys. And there's a lot of truth in that too. And then what I found to be even better about it was about 25 minutes later, right before the fight's about to start, they go to the confessional booth and that young man's opponent, Timur Valiev, literally says almost word for word what Conor told his guys, but he wasn't in that room. So he was speaking from the heart and literally said almost word for word what these other guys' coach taught them. He literally said, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to fight with my heart. I'm going to fight with my soul. I'm going to fight with my brain. And I'm going to show them who I am. And I was like, dude, that's baller. That's incredible. It felt like a George Lucas film or a George Lucas property, because like everything George Lucas does, it's like poetry. It rhymes, you know, like there's a start and a finish and they almost mimic one another. So, I thought it was very poetic and just very beautiful. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think that a third round was necessary by any means. I agree with, I don't remember the exact wording that Chandler said it in, but I agree with the tune that he was playing. Chandler basically said, like, you know, if I'm sitting where Conor's sitting, I could understand why he would see it the way he saw it. But realistically, there was no reason for a third round. His guy was up 10-9 both rounds. The first round, you could argue a 10-8 just because of he was in control for what, like 4 minutes? He wasn't landing big shots, but that body triangle was nasty. Yeah. 100%. 100%. I 1000% think that Conor's trying his best to show maturity. He's trying his best to be a better coach than he was the last time around. And that's all great and fine, but geez Louise, man. I just feel like he made a mistake choosing all of the amateurs here. He had the choice to go first, and he chose none of the guys that have already been to the UFC. That just seems like a lapse in judgment. But I mean, just jumping into the outcome of the fight, obviously, hopefully everybody that's watching has already seen it at this point. Come on. Spoiler alert, Tamer Believ, like, he's nasty with it. He's a dog. I could... Fuck it. Fuck it. I can't say that I blame you, and I can't say that I'm against you here. I completely agree, man. I think this Dagestani might end up taking it all the way. He's a dog. He's a beast. I'll be honest. I was super excited to see the preview for next week up until I saw the preview for next week. Those who know me know that I'm pretty hype on Brad Katana. I was hype on him the first season he was on Tough when he won the whole thing. I loved the whole Clark Kent Superman persona, taking off the glasses and like becoming like terrifyingly scary as soon as he does. So, I mean, just, dude, the guy's an absolute monster. I was excited to see him fight. And then they show the preview, and lo and behold, what happens? The guy's being a diva. The guy's kind of being a little dirtbag. He's seemingly wanting to leave the team and go to Team McGregor, judging by what was being said. I mean, I don't know what to make of it, but it's upsetting. You may or may not be right. I know that he trains at SBG Ireland at McGregor's camp. It's like, sorry, it doesn't matter. Like, you're on the winning team, bro. I think it's definitely something upstairs that's preventing him from falling in line and doing the right things, so to speak. Um, man, yeah. Again, thank you for your patience, guys. We appreciate you. We will definitely fine tune the microphone stuff as soon as we wrap the live as well. We'll make sure that we're good to go for next time, which will be Thursday evening, where we will be going over the upcoming UFC fight card, which is actually going to be a really solid one in my opinion. When Josh Emmett fights, you know someone's getting knocked out, whether it's him or the other person. So, I mean, again, Brad Katona, I think, ends up winning this next fight. It's his to lose, but if he's being a diva, if he's being a prima donna, again, it's his to lose. He could easily lose this fight as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be an incredible fight for him if he's not putting in the work, and if he, like you said, is focusing his mental energy in the wrong places. Man, I almost am starting to feel bad for Connor. All is fair in love and war. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. Ay, 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 ay. Man. Yeah, I joked in the first episode that we did of this show and said that I thought Chandler was going to end up winning every single fight, but I feel like if that happens, I have to look it up after this episode. Will that be the first time in Ultimate Fighter history where somebody legitimately runs the whole show on another coach like that? I think that would have to be the only time that's ever happened. And I just would feel bad for McGregor. I don't think they did amazing, but they did all right. I mean, I think it might end up being the first clean sweep in tough history. Question for you, not related to this episode, but related to tough. And I'm going to put myself on mute and let you take the show for a minute here. Curious, of all the tough seasons that there have been, who is your favorite tough coach, or who do you think is, who's your favorite tough coach of all time? And a caveat to that, who would be one person that has not coached tough to your knowledge that would be like your dream tough coach? Honestly, love those picks. So as far as somebody that's already coached Tough, somebody that's already been on Tough, my all-time favorite, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fight fans of all shapes, sizes, and ages, if you have not seen this past season of Tough, please do yourself a favor. Go to UFC Fight Pass. I think it might even be on ESPN Plus. Rashad Evans' season against Rampage Jackson was one of the best Ultimate Fighter seasons. Dude, like, for so many reasons. Like the scene of Rampage that everybody has seen of him just obliterating a door, and the scene of him like going pretty much nose to nose with Rashad calling him a bitch, and then Rampage saying, "Make me a bitch, or treat me like a bitch then. Treat me like a bitch then." He's like, I'm going to when we fight. Watch. And sure enough, he did. The double pump jab to power blast double that he did in their fight was one of the nastiest and still is one of my favorite sequences. Yeah. Just chef's kiss sequence of a takedown, or of a shot fake to takedown. Just beautiful, brilliant stuff, man. Absolutely love seeing that myself. That whole season was great. I thought Rashad was a really great coach too, not just like for the fun, trashy reality moments that we know I love, because I'm a big fan of things like The Challenge and stuff like that. And your usual like Netflix reality shows. Big fan of that trashy stuff. But other than Rashad, so there have been a lot of people that have coached that I thought were fantastic coaches. However, there have been some fighters that have escaped the duties of the Ultimate Fighter coaching. I think Dustin Poirier would be a really great fit. And I, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me Dustin Poirier. And, you know, if we want it to be a classy season, give him somebody that's in the top 5 of the lightweight division. You know what I mean? Maybe do like a Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev. It would be great for both men's brands. It would build them both. And it would be a great build-up if Dustin wins his fight, assuming he wins his fight against Justin Gaethje. The trajectories are there. The storyline is there. Gives him a chance to right the wrong in losing to Khabib in Abu Dhabi. I just think everything is right about that. If you want to make it extremely popular TV and trashy AF, as the kids say, you book it at 170 against Colby Covington. Witness relocation program. Well, McGregor, I don't know if you know this, but McGregor versus Poirier was originally supposed to be what happened this season. And Poirier turned it down. Yeah. He's beat him 2 out of 3 times. McGregor's only win over him was like 8 years ago. Ooh, I'm not mad at that. Ooh, dude. I actually liked that one better, because then we can do another season for the first time in forever of Tough Nations. And we could do all Brazil fighters versus all US fighters. Tough Nation seasons are always a lot of fun. Like, that's who was the last standout that came from Tough Nations? Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews came from Tough Nations. Robert Whittaker came from Tough Nations, the first season of Tough Nations. Tough Nations has produced bangers, dude. Yeah. I don't know if you can see or not, but Z said that your mic is low still. If we could turn it up. Sorry, Z. Not sure what the heck's happening with this guy tonight. I give him 1 week off. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I have the volume turned all the way up on mine. I'm just going through making sure that there's nothing else I can do here. I appreciate it, Z. You're the man. Everybody, if you're not following Z, make sure you check him out on Twitch at Authentic Z. He is the man, and he streams on there more often than I do. He's a lot of fun, and he has really, really fun filters. And yeah, he's like a wizard with that kind of stuff. So a lot of fun over on that guy's stream. So yeah, appreciate you being understanding and appreciate you giving us the feedback, my guy. So yeah, man, this episode was a lot of fun. Honestly, I think next week's episode is going to be a lot less fun and a lot more drama, but I'm here for it, man. I'm all about it. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to witness it. You and me both, man. I still think Bradley Katana gets it done. But man, I hope his ego doesn't get the best of him. I truly hope his ego does not get the best of him. We'll talk about it. Speaking of which, we are going to go ahead and wrap up this episode and figure out what the heck's going on with Nano's mic. And in the meantime, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're over on the YouTube. If you're watching this on or if you're listening to this on any of the podcast websites or platforms, make sure you subscribe if you haven't, leave a review. And on Twitch, make sure you like, make sure you follow, make sure you join in on the chat. If you didn't this time, please do next time. We'd love to get your feedback, and we'd also love to hear your thoughts on the episode. We will be back live on the YouTube, on the Twitch, on Thursday, and can't wait to chat with you guys all then. And in the meantime, keep it going, keep it live, and can't wait to see you.